In this video, I'm going to be covering what, in my opinion, is the best Titan loadout for Titanfall 2, currently in the tech test, August 19th through August 21st, 2016. There's not that many options, there's not that many Titans, but here's the loadout I've been having the best success with. So, there's actually two of them depending on the game type. For Bounty Hunt, I prefer Scorch, and for Amped Hardpoint, I prefer Ion. Now, both of these look very similar. Both of them have the turbo engine and warp fall, and with the kit, with the Ion kit, I use Entangled Energy, and with Scorch, I use Wildfire Launcher. So, I'll talk about Bounty Hunt first. Real quickly, the last game type is, of course, the Pilots versus Pilots mode, in which no Titans can even be used, so no reason to cover that. Bounty Hunt, you need to use Scorch, and I prefer Turbo Engine. The dash helps so much in relocating and engaging other Titans and engaging pilots to melee them, to be able to maneuver around enemy Titans or reposition behind an object. So much more valuable than the auto Titan lethality. You generally want to be in your Titan. Of course, it's going to perform so much better when you are controlling it rather than the AI controlling it. And the 20% core build time isn't that useful compared with the extra dash, especially on Scorch, who doesn't come with an inherent dash. The 20% core build time is basically paltry. You'll get that in just a couple waves of grunts or by dealing some good damage to any Titans. You'll quickly build that up. That's not an issue. You need the extra dash. Warp fall over bubble shield. There's really no reason to use bubble shield once you get warp fall. Just get your Titan in faster and get back in the fight faster. That's my thoughts on it. Bubble shield, the Titan comes in, takes 4 seconds, and he sits under a shield for quite a long period of time, in which if an enemy moves through it, they'll take damage. But generally, no pilots are going to be moving through that bubble shield. No enemy Titans are going to be moving through that bubble shield. So I've always found it more useful to get your Titan in faster. Warp fall reduces it by half, so it takes 2 seconds. Get your Titan in faster, get in it, and then get back in the fight and start getting up those kills and that score. And then finally, the Scorch kit, I use Wildfire Launcher over Inferno Shield. And the reason being that you generally don't get close enough to burn them with the thermal shield unless it's a one-on-one. And then the Wildfire Launcher, yes, it does lose out in that scenario, but for Bounty Hunt, you definitely want to be using Wildfire Launcher. So Bounty Hunt is based around getting score and currency for killing AI that spawns in these certain zones. You need to be able to control those zones, you need to be able to control the space around it while relocating and while having the durability to be able to withstand the various pilot hits and Titan hits that are going to be coming after you. Scorch gives you that in spades. He is the perfect Titan to melt through those AI waves as soon as they spawn. Just dump an R1 right on top of wherever the grunts are spawning, and it'll burn through them. That thermite rips through them. Even when the more significant ones like the Stalkers and the sort of mini Titan that drops, you can just dump some of his incendiary traps and ignite those with the R1. Again, to just rip through the enemy AI, which is the goal. You want to burn through those bounties as quickly as possible so that your team can collapse on top of the other point and hopefully kill the enemy pilots, reducing their score, and take some of those bounties, increasing your score even more. Thermal shield is great. It works the same as Vortex, except it doesn't redirect that energy. It just kind of burns through it. If you're close to an enemy pilot or an enemy Titan, it'll burn that, and it deals very good damage. Firewall is very great, and in a 1v1 Titan fight, Scorch is able to just withstand so much more damage than Ion, as well as output so much more damage than Ion. His Flame Core obviously isn't as great as Ion. It doesn't have that huge beam that you can just concentrate and rip through targets. But Flame Core is great for managing space and cutting off avenues of access when you're engaged in those Wave 2 and Wave 3 team fights. Again, there's not that many options to pick from here, but Turbo Engine, Warp Fall, and Wildfire Launcher on Scorch is the best loadout to use for Bounty Hunt. For Amped Hardpoint, I use Ion with a very similar loadout. Again, Turbo Engine, Warp Fall, this time with Entangled Energy. Entangled Energy over Vortex Amplifier. Again, I didn't find the shield boosting kit options that great compared to restoring energy from the other option. So the reason that I use Ion for Amped Hardpoint is because there's not AI. You don't need to worry about controlling that space. You need to worry about picking off pilots and dealing damage to enemy Titans from range. So Ion gives you that utility with his R1 and his laser core. The tripwires aren't that useful. The vortex shield is good, but it really comes down to laser shot and the laser core. Laser shot is a pinpoint accurate hit scan that melts pilots in one hit. It's amazing for picking off far targets that are shooting at you with charged rifles or mag launchers peeking out from over cover. And the laser core, if you can get it in those Titan fights, you can completely melt through them very fast. And again, because there's no AI, that's the reason that Ion is the better choice for Amped Hardpoint. Yeah, there's not that many options. Hopefully when the beta comes out, or when the tech test comes out again next week, they'll have some more options for us to pick from. But currently, Ion, Amped Hardpoint, and Scorch on Bounty Hunt, both of them with Turbo Engine and Warp Fall. And then Ion has the Entangled Energy, and Scorch has the Wildfire Launcher. Let me know what builds you guys have been using and what you've been finding success with, and I'll catch you in the next episode.